What are your priorities to ensure the financial stability of our community?
Yeah, so the free cash looks great. It doesn't appear that the town really has a financial problem. There's that for the longer term, obviously, focusing on bringing in more businesses, is important. We have some vacancies in town, but those taxes are quite honestly paid, whether or not those are filled. That's more, a quality of life issue for the town. But, as far as the financial stability, the biggest thing that I could say in that regard, and again, this kind of encroaches on some of your other questions, would be kind of where we choose to put the free cash and where those investments are made. Part of the reason that the town is in such a good position is because the residents put up with tax increases, to be quite honest. And coming from a community like New London, where the residents would take the budget to referendum and vote it down unless it was a level budget year after year after year, my chief concern would be not having us get to that point. We have a lot of residents who are very upset with the current state of the tax rate, whether that's fair or not. And I feel that we need to reach out to those people, meet them where they're at, and show them that we're being responsible with their money, and that we're being effective, and we're making the right investments, and then they're the investments that the people agree with, so that we don't lose the support of the community. And they could very easily at town meeting, slash the budget and put us in a very bad position.
Marie, what are your priorities to ensure the financial stability of our
There's
community?
several things we need to do, and there are several things that we have done. Number one, we need to continue to apply for grants, and we need to make sure that the town has the staff to work on obtaining those grants. The last 3 years, we've got $13,450,000 of grants. It's on that little sheet that the town passed out, informational sheet. Very important. That's money that we would come out of our tax dollars to take care of that. We need to improve our bond rating. I think we're 2 levels from the top. So one of my goals for the town manager would be in the next year, let's get to the next level. Okay, let's get to 1 goal from the top. Now, by getting a good bond rating, we can borrow money cheaply, all right, saving us money in the long run. So I think that's very important. We need to continue to build up our free cash, all right? But more importantly, we need to spend it wisely. Okay, it's one thing to say, well, we get free cash, but then you blow it on things you don't need. So I think we need to continue to work on that. This is one of my things, and this is one of the things that came up in the master plan. We need to do a better job funding our capital programs. And this is where you get into maintenance, maintain, rather than rebuild. We've let a lot of things go in the past, and we've lost some very nice buildings in our community. A few years ago, I call it the new high school, the roof was leaking, and we didn't do anything about it year after year after year. And before you know it, the drop ceiling came. Drop ceiling dropped, all right? And then the floors got wet, and they started to warp. So it was probably a $300,000 or $400,000 job if we took care of it right away, ended up being $600,000 or $700,000. Can't allow that to happen. And I will say, and again, one thing I forgot to mention, I'm the chairman of the master plan, and that's my Bible, okay? And I know Mary's looked at it. I would strongly suggest that all of you get a copy of that master plan. Anything you want to know about Oxford, about the issues that we have and how we're dealing with them, are in that book. And it's a 10-year plan, and it deals with the physical and economic development of our community. So I think you really need to take a look at that. So anyway, we need to maintain that. The other thing we need to do is attract more business into town. We're all talking about this 40B development. And if you look at the master plan, we knew something like this was going to come. The government has changed its housing. Years ago, we were doing all of these cul-de-sacs, and somebody would come in and they'd build 20 houses on a nice cul-de-sac. The whole thing has changed now, okay? They're looking to do condos. And there are 2 projects we got going on in Oxford right now. One is a condo called Ashworth Hill. It's going to be 320 2-bedroom condos and 100,000 square feet of commercial. The project has already started. It's going to take them 2 years just to get. We issued a pad-ready site, which means they got to blast and remove thousands of yards of ledge. And as I say, it's going to take 2 years. That'll be phase 1. But the good part about that, it's going to be owner-occupied. Those types of residences tend to fund enough money to compensate for the added costs we're going to have in their services. plus you take the fact that we've got 100,000 square feet of a commercial, I think that's going to be a wash. Actually, we might make money on the end of that. Because in terms of the roads, those roads are going to remain private. So we're not going to have to maintain them. They're going to be 2-bedroom units, okay? The people they're targeting this on are going to be not low incomes. They're going to be people that are, they call them double income, no kids, all right? They don't want to own a home. They want to take the weekend. They want to go traveling. They want to go hiking, kayaking, but they want a place they can call their home. And the other group of people are people in their late 50s that want to downsize or go to they don't want to maintain a place anymore. They want to travel. So those groups of people don't tend to have a lot of children. All right. So the impact on the school should not be significant. So that project itself, in my opinion, will certainly fund itself. The other project, I guess I'll get to that when you ask about the 40B.